Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how do we look after our well-being this Christmas. So December for me is the most magical, enjoyable month of the year, and I absolutely love the Christmas holiday season. But let's be honest, when we're striving to constantly make it perfect and memorable and create those amazing times, it can be stressful and sometimes it can run away with us to the point where it can start to affect our well-being. And what should be the most enjoyable time can actually turn out to be quite stressful. And I have had a couple of Christmases in recent, I'd say in about the last recent, I'd say 5 Christmases, 5 years, that I've woken up on Christmas Day super early and not felt amazing and watched the rest of my family be in the true Christmas spirit, and I've had to almost fake being perfectly fine, but deep down inside I've not been feeling particularly great. And that's partly because I've not had a realistic expectation of what actually I can do as a human being. And when I say that, I mean, and please don't do this. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to practice self-care throughout December, and we need to look after our well-being as well. So I have a big family and I always try to help and support everywhere I can. And sometimes that means cutting back on me. So for example, the important things and looking after myself. Around the Christmas season, running around, there always seems to be something to do. And I'm always trying to make things perfect for my family. They mean the world to me. Now, my mum and my dad are very quite often trying to get me to calm down with things, trying to sort of get me to relax, trying to do really lovely things, and they're absolutely brilliant. And my brothers, they mean the world to me. I absolutely love that. But for me, and a lot of people will probably resonate with me on this, if I've not done it, I can't relax because it's not me for Christmas. I've not done it for Christmas. So therefore, I'm always pretty quite stressed until I've done it, until I've made it my way. Now, I'm not quite sure how that sounds, but when you're striving for perfection, especially this time of the year, it starts, you're fine for the first, let's say the first couple of steps throughout the journey where you're trying to run around and do everything. Then I find as you get closer to Christmas and you see all of everything's coming together and it's beautiful, you start to feel not quite so great. You start to feel not quite so on top of things. You may be not feeling 100% well. That's me. And in recent years, a couple of Christmases, that's happened to me. So it's really important to set realistic expectations. Now, one of the worst things I was trying to do, and I try to probably do every year, which is really bad, is super early in the morning, and I mean super early. I start work for around 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'd be getting up earlier, so come the Christmas holidays when there's lots to be done, we're around about the same time, and then sometimes earlier, but however, doing it right up until last thing at night, sometimes till early hours in the morning. So I was only really, in recent years, been getting around about 3 hours sleep and trying to do a full day and trying to do so many different things. And of course, if you've got a function to go to or a family event or one thing or another, there always seems to be something which requires us to be there this Christmas season, which of course is magical and great. But underneath, if you're trying to fulfill everybody else's needs and support everybody, it's hard. And in the end, it starts to take a toll. And I know there's a lot of people out there at Christmas who do that. I think there are certain people in families who make Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. Like, for example, my mum. How my mum does it, I love my dad with all my heart, and he's absolutely amazing. But when it comes to preparations and things, my mum and my mum's imagination is just absolutely incredible through and through. And it's just, without mum's touch on everything, it's just not right. I think my dad would say that as well. And there'll be a lot of families, vice versa, who will actually say, well, if my nan hasn't done it, or if my mum hasn't, or if my dad hasn't, it's just not right. So in our family, that's pretty much it as well. And for me, I like to help other people, but I can't necessarily, and I wouldn't, ask somebody else because in my mind, it's like that I haven't done it. So therefore, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So it's really important, if what I'm going through now, this is you, to have a realistic expectation and really concentrate on your well-being this Christmas, because that's what I'm going to do. Why? Because this year I've had some problems with health up and down, and with stress unfortunately making things worse with what I particularly have some issues with. I really do need to restock. I need to kind of reevaluate things. I don't necessarily need to change, but I do need to change how I do things. So that means, for example, getting a little bit more prepared, being a little bit more wiser, and just taking care of things a little bit more better and ensuring that your well-being this December is the best what it can be. So how do we do that? So number one, and we've talked about it, we've touched on it already, is sleep. Now it might sound simple, but it truly isn't. And I am terrible for sleeping, and I have really bad times with going off to sleep, waking up throughout the night, even though I don't sleep particularly very long, and then I'm up first thing in the morning as well. So sleep is really truly important, and I'm really trying to work on that as well, as going to bed at a sensible hour, okay, not early hours in the morning, and really making sure that you're allowing your body to rejuvenate and to repair and rest. Because this December, we all know that there is so many magical things which happen, and Christmas is the most magical time of the year for a lot of people. So it's really, really important to make sure that you allow yourself time to rejuvenate and to rest and to really tone down and switch off. So making sure, for example, that sleep is not necessarily your only priority, but having it as an important measure in your evening routine and your last things in the evening, which you're looking at. So for example, maybe reducing technology, maybe reducing how much time you're spending on your phone, maybe coming away from devices and things like that, and really just trying to relax, trying to chill down, and just kind of being a little bit more kinder to yourself, ready so you can get your body in that kind of phase of being able to restore and rest. Because sleep is so, so important. Moving forward, what I would say is don't do what I've done, say these things, and then probably struggle with it yourself. It's going to take time. So if we start now early in December, time Christmas is here, throughout the whole Christmas holiday season, you will be reaping the rewards of better sleep, better health, and it's going to make you feel less stressed, okay? And you'll have much more of a better composition, I think, in your day-to-day life, if you can get a hold of that as well. Things which I like, lavender oil when I really, really struggle to sleep at night as well, that's really, really great. And sometimes you can buy those kind of spritzing sprays, which you spray on the night clothes and one thing or another, which can really help you cool down and calm down as well, and especially settle your mind. A little bit like me, I've got a really loud mind, and I'm stressing and worrying about what I haven't done. So sleep, I'm really going to be concentrating on that. So that's something which you can try as well. Next, sounds really, really simple. However, it's not. Controlling your stress levels. Do you know what? Sometimes we have to realize, and I have to take this in myself, that sometimes the most imperfect things can actually be the most wonderfully perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's lovely if it all goes to plan, but you know what, my friends, if it doesn't, if you've got your loved ones around you this Christmas season, it is still going to be magical, it is still going to be amazing, and it is still going to be imperfectly perfect for you. So remember, doesn't all have to be done in one day. You've got the whole of December, so do things sort of, if you can, sort of chunk it down. If you've got lots of Christmas shopping still left to do, if you've got the house to prepare, maybe you've got family to look after, maybe you've got caring responsibilities, maybe you're still working right up to Christmas. Just do not stress. Do as much as you can with a healthy perspective, kind of a healthy composure, day by day. There is plenty of time, my friends, and do not burn yourself out. It's easier said than done, believe you me, I've done that many of times, but let's do it together. So really, really try not to stress. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, because sometimes it being imperfectly perfect is incredible and wonderful and truly, truly special for you and your loved ones. So something which we're going to move on to now is probably quite a common sense approach, but however it's not. So I'm gonna really kind of reap what I'm saying here, is eating correctly. So we know that around the Christmas season, when we're getting together with family, with loved ones, and maybe work functions and occasions and friends, that everybody likes to enjoy luxuries and maybe have a glass of something nice. But my friends, moderation is key, because what we all necessarily don't realise is that often at the back end of the year, maybe it's been a stressful year, maybe it's been a difficult year for a lot of people, so people tend to let off a lot of steam. So rather than moderation, people tend to go excessive in things, which are great and really, really as nice to enjoy as a luxury, however, the key being a luxury. So for example, moderation is key, my friends, because too much of something can backfire and make you unwell, or unfortunately have a negative impact on your health. So be sure to practice and have a healthy breakfast, lunch and dinner. And never ever skip meals, because number one, as we talk about on my channel, that's not going to help your well-being, that's not going to help your stress levels, and it's certainly not going to help your hair. So what next? So keeping connected. Now that might sound strange when it's a time of year where we come together with loved ones and family. However, keeping connected. Now, when I say that, I mean making time for you and looking out for loved ones around you, because Christmas is the most special time of the year, absolutely, in my opinion. But there are going to be times where people struggle. So there's going to be people out there who have gone through grief, bereavement, awful loss, and people have had horrific years out there. Let's be honest, when we look at the world, with the amount what's going on in the world still today, it is incredible. And there will be people who have had a lot of hardship go on, and there will be people who will be dreading Christmas. So let's stay connected with people. So if you know of somebody who's going to be finding it particularly difficult this season, maybe reach out to them a little bit more often. Sometimes just a simple text message or picking up the phone can be an absolute blessing. Because remember, my friend, the most wonderful gift doesn't have to cost a penny. Just by giving your time and just really making it known that this person, whether it's a friend, a loved one, family, or an acquaintance, okay, somebody you may not have even known for very, very long, but you know they're going through a difficult time, by giving your time can be the greatest gift of all. So I find that really, really important. So lastly, how I want to round and kind of wrap up this clip is that actually, yes, this Christmas season is so, so special, but there is life after Christmas. God willing, as I always say, that actually it's okay to have the most amazing, lavish Christmas, if you can. But there will be people up and down the country and across the globe who will be beating themselves up because they've got children, they've got relatives who they want to make it extra, extra special. But of course, the cost of living across the world, okay, in 2025 is spiraling. And let's be honest, we've all gone to the store and we've gone to supermarkets and luxury stores and maybe stores where you're looking for Christmas gifts or maybe online. And we all like to save money. We all like to look out for a bargain. But however, things are getting more expensive. Myself, I can tell this year that things are much more expensive. So do not burn yourself out and make yourself in an uncomfortable situation for January, February, March with high toppling bills, because that's not going to help you in 2026. Maybe, and I know this is not going to be for everybody, but something which I have really enjoyed in previous Christmases, do you know what? Simple things, which just because they're simple doesn't mean that they're less special. Okay, they can actually sometimes be more special, more personal, and more magical. Things like personal items, such as baked goods, baked items, homemade gifts, crafting ideas. Sometimes by baking something and making something from the heart, okay, can be truly, truly special. Myself, one of the things I love to make at Christmas is sugar cookies, and I love to make gingerbread, and I love to make Christmas cake. Mince pies in this part of the world we seem to make by the dozen, but I absolutely love doing that. One of the things I made last year, and my family absolutely loved, was cranberry muffins and gingerbread. And I made that a couple of times throughout December, and it just went. And a couple of my brothers actually would visit on purpose to try them because they really, really enjoyed them. And I just thought to myself as I was doing this clip, do you know what? If you didn't have too much this year, or you were finding it a little bit of a financial struggle, just imagine, maybe a really nice presentation basket, or a presentation kind of like a plastic sort of bag with some ribbon and things like that. Maybe sort of something like that you could bake a couple of batches of, maybe for friends, maybe for family. How lovely would that be? Turning that round in terms of crafting, maybe there's a picture you treasure. Maybe putting something together in a scrapbook would be a really lovely, magical idea. Another thing which I absolutely love, and I had them from when I was younger and from when my niece was younger as well, is actually Christmas tree ornaments, which I absolutely love and adore. And Christmas for me, I absolutely love. And it worked, they actually call me Mr. Christmas, because I start really, really early. And that sounds a bit cheesy, but I love doing that. So for me, when people are enjoying the back end of the summer, I'm throwing myself into Christmas straight away to get things underway so I can get mine done and sorted. But however, I still keep doing it right up until the actual season's here and Christmas. But I like to do that to help other people so I can make space in my life to be able to help others as well. But what a wonderful gift to be able to make a Christmas ornament which you can treasure for years to come. Maybe a baked item, maybe sort of doing something in, I don't know, something like as in a gift sort of arrangement or one thing or another. Or if you're a little bit more savvy than that, maybe you can, I don't know, put things together with fabric in one thing or another, and you can make sort of decorations and garlands in one thing or another. I've done that in recent years and I absolutely love that. And last year, out of ribbon, I made our tree topper for the Christmas tree in the family home. And it took me about a week, I reckon, but was absolutely stunning, and it was looked upon by a lot of family members, and I really, really enjoyed doing that. So it's those type of things which we treasure, aren't they? And it's things which traditions are born from and kind of treasured and created in a family as well. So the greatest gift of all doesn't have to be expensive. And I think just coming back to that Christmas can be an expensive time of year, but I think if we're careful, if we plan, and if we're kind to ourselves, it can be one which we can enjoy from every single aspect. And at the end of the day, my friends, that as long as you and your family are around you and you spend that quality time together at Christmas, it will still be a magical time because you're with the ones who mean everything to you in here. So on that note, my friends, let's look after our well-being this year. Let's really kind of slow things down, be present in the moment, not worry about the future so much, because it is daunting looking ahead into 2026, isn't it? I know often I worry around this time of the year and I'm terrible for looking ahead, but actually let's enjoy the season right here and now. Let's enjoy December 2025. And actually practice self-care techniques for ourselves. Don't over worry, don't over stress, be in the moment here and now, and control your thoughts, my friends. Because for me, thoughts sometimes run away with me. They really, really do, about every single thing in this life. And you know what? We're not 5 years down the road, we're not 2 months down the road, we're right here and now. And that's special. So let's enjoy this Christmas season and be kind to ourselves. And with those tips, let's hope that we can hold on to and enjoy good well-being this Christmas season. So God bless, take great care, and I look forward to you joining me real soon. Bye now.